the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Worse to watch for your eyes, your soul, your heart, all the above.
Oh, wow.
The Steelers with Kenny Pickett or Desmond Ridder and the Falcons?
I know it's Taylor Heinicke.
I'm going to go with the Steelers and Kenny Pickett, mainly because nothing about that.
Mission accomplished.
Nothing about that is fun. I can at least rationalize and say, hey, Bijan Robinson's kind of cool. Kyle Pitts is cool when they throw him the ball once every 35 plays. Jonnu Smith has more touchdowns. No, I think there was a stat. Scott Spratt, formerly of Football Outsiders, posted a stat where I think he said Sam Laporta has had 3 games of over 10 targets in his rookie year. That is more games with 10 plus targets than Kyle Pitts has had in his entire career.
Yeah, I think it's only 2 for Pitts.
Both offenses are really bad, but I can at least rationalize and say at least the Falcons have some fun players to watch. Ain't shit fun about the Steelers offense.
No.
Like it's a
crazy.
high school offense.
It's crazy to me that you could have Najee Harris, who's played well.
We need to stop this Najee Harris thing, man. He's a dude. He's not horrible.
He played well enough.
Good. He's a guy.
That guy in Kyle Shanahan's offense would probably have like 1,200 yards.
I would have 900 yards in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Big effing whoop.
But that's the point. That's the point. It's just a bunch of guys that could be serviceable that aren't because Matt Canada is a terrorist.
I think Najee Harris is just kind of miscast in what he can and cannot do in an offense. I think Najee Harris does not have great vision, which doesn't lead to a lot of good zone blocking offense. He's a gap scheme runner. He's a power counter, get him going downhill. And even in the Steelers game on Thursday, his best runs were on gap scheme runs.
Listen, man, Carlos Hyde had a great season under Kyle Shanahan in that zone.
That is a name I've not heard in a long time.
You know what I mean? Like it's possible to get production out of these people, no matter what the scheme. You just can't.
Well, Evan, you're getting pretty excited about these stats that we're talking about here, but I saw one from my old friend Kyle Shanahan. Never come back from 8+ down in the fourth quarter in his entire coaching career, which is kind of wild.
That was such a stupid
really
cherry-picked
That's a really dumb stat. That's like the Thaddeus Young, like he has like 30+ points, 20+ rebounds, 50%.
Well, hold on. When you think Thaddeus Young, you think Anthony Davis, you think Wilt Chamberlain, you think LeBron James. It was a very fair stat. Thaddeus Young. We've always said that he's in that conversation. It's a very cherry-picked stat because how many teams in the NFL are actually coming back from down double digits in the fourth quarter? Like, there's very few teams that actually can do that, and so it's really stupid. The Steelers offense just has nothing that's very fun. Like, you can put the blame on anybody you want. Like, Matt Canada is a terrorist. Yes, he's not very good at calling an NFL offense. The entire offense is just rollouts and throws to the right side of the field. Or what they'll do is, and apparently this is just some new wrinkle for the Steelers offense, is they will motion a running back to the trip side and then runs George Pickens on a slant or George Pickens on a backside fade. They will never throw the swing route, ever. They never, ever throw that route.
You know, I got to say, go ahead. Finish your route.
They will just throw the slant or the fade to George Pickens. And 70% of the time, it works because George Pickens is kind of good. But it's always so catastrophic because the quarterback sucks too. It's not like it's only like a Matt Canada thing. Kenny Pickett is a bad football player. There is nothing. There's nothing worth saving here at this point with Kenny Pickett. He is fine outside the pocket, but he's always outside the pocket because he's bailing on clean pockets. And when he's in the pocket, he can't read the field or complete passes on time. The Allen Robinson missed throw on Thursday was horrendous from multiple parts. First of all, Connor Hayward was open and probably walks in for a touchdown. Second, if he brings that ball off the dirt, Allen Robinson probably scores. So you just wasted 2 viable options because you have a terrible quarterback in this offense. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but Matt Canada is really, really bad at his job. But so is Kenny Pickett. Offensive line is hit or miss in the passing game. Isaac Seumalo has been – it was a bad game. Isaac Seumalo Thursday, but it's been hit or miss. Project Jones looked good at right tackle, about time, but there's nothing salvageable about the two most important parts of this offense right now.
And we just say real quick, I've been doing this pod with Chase for many years now. A long time. A really long time. And Chase, bless his heart, has tried a lot of different segments and a lot of different things. He's tried a lot. There's a lot of alliterations. When the reality is, the only thing you should have ever done is just had JP come on the start of the podcast and just absolutely flame both of your guys' teams, because it's the most entertaining thing that's ever happened on this podcast.
I can't wait till the Jeff Garcia game, the Tim Rattay years come back to San Francisco, because I'm going to hold you to that, Evan, when you're still on this podcast and JP is right here to roast the future of the Niners.
Brock Purdy is just Jeff Garcia who's young, really, if you think about it. It's not that different.
That's why you have Sam Darnold.
I have more in the tank for the Falcons anyway. This is not over.
If I can add on to the Steelers stuff, just because.
You are.
It's every week, man. I can tell you, they play the Packers this coming week. I can tell you exactly how that game's going to go. Both offenses are going to suck for 3 quarters, for 4 quarters. Really.
Is it Packers Steelers this week?
Yeah. It is. We have some ugly football coming up soon.
Both offenses are going to suck for 3 quarters. The Steelers are going to have one drive in the 4th quarter where they look competent. They're going to win 13-9, and then all of these Kenny Pickett hype people are, nope, another win, a 4th quarter comeback. He's got potential. We still got something. Yeah, he put up 13. You want to know another fun stat? So, since the start of last season, Steelers, when they allow teams to score more than 20 points, 21 or more points, they are 1-7 in those games. And the only game that they won in that circumstance was against Cleveland this year, and their defense scored more points than their offense did. So if you get 21 points against the Steelers, you're gonna win. That is basically what's up.
You want to know another fun stat? CJ Stroud has more career touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett.
Sure does. In 8 games. 14 touchdown passes in 8 games. Kenny Pickett has 13 in 21 games.
That's not good.
Well, also, I think it's a little unfair because the one part of it I'll say that's positive is CJ Stroud looks like a really 15-year starter.
Listen, people got mad that I said it. JP, you probably saw all the people he follows in Jaguars land. But CJ Stroud is what they thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be.
Oh, no.
Trevor Lawrence is a top 5 quarterback in the league right now, probably top 10. I think is the safer bet.
Dan Orlovsky has in an MVP conversation.
Again, he's playing great. He's playing great football. He's been fantastic. But that extra gear of I'm just gonna go out and win games has been so fun watching. CJ Stroud's last 2 passes yesterday were I haven't seen something like that in a long time.
Did you not?
If I may,
Baltimore?
Hold on. Against Baltimore.